Everyone, this is Minnesota Mike back with you for the last show of the Not Had to Do Another Joint tour, which is what I call my set of live streams that I've done for the past 73 weeks, which is just wild. And the wild thing about it is that I was joking with my mom at the beginning of the pandemic. I said, man, I got enough, live streams to last me for, about 60 more weeks it was at that point. And she's like, don't say that. And so I ended up, going, like I said, 73 weeks worth of material. Just decided that this was a good stopping point. If there ever was one, I'm always going to be writing, always going to be creating and all of that. But that was just one of those things that there's never going to be a good stopping point. But this seemed like a good thematic one at the time. Then I suddenly got more to say. But that's exactly what I'm saying, that, there's never going to be a good point to stop doing these. But anyway, this is an album that's it's focused on the songs from my album called The Diamonds of the Deepest Ocean. And it's about a relationship that I, was kind of holding on to for a while. I'll explain a little bit more a little bit later, not to give anything away, but yeah, just kind of holding on to it and like finally coming to the realization that like, if this person isn't going to put me first, then, I'm not going to, it's not that I'm not going to try, but I'm not going to try for that necessarily. If it happens, it happens. Kind of the whole problem was me not trying for it in the first place. Consistency, that's good. So, this first, song that I wrote for the record was, inspired by Boots of Spanish Leather by Bob Dylan, and I think I've said that like at least 2 or 3 times throughout the course of this set of live streams, but that makes it even more appropriate to play it on my last night. So this is a song called Sunset, and I'm going to pair it with Boots of Spanish Leather, and I hope you enjoy it. I did the right thing in letting you go that afternoon in October, but the way you made me feel even when you were gone is something I still haven't gotten over. It was a few months later I drove to see you, bought the ice on 94 eastbound. It was willing to see your pretty face again. I just feel better when you're around. I was gonna ask you, but it never came up about me and your future planning. But the time didn't feel right, and I knew the West Coast was where you would soon be landing. But 4 months later you began to see someone before you were able to go Pacific. He seemed alright, but you deserve someone who is nothing less than terrific. Then you moved out west and he helped you out even after you two went broken. I guess it was that easy to get your heart and just as easy to leave it open. I still feel like I did the right thing, so I'm not trying to be too upset. But until you reciprocate how I feel, I won't try to reverse the sunset. Oh, I'm a sailing away, my own true love, sailing away in the morning. Is there something I can send you from across the sea, from the place that I'll be landing? No, there's nothing you can send me, my own true love. There's nothing I wish to be owning. Just carry yourself back to me unspoiled from across that lonesome ocean. Oh, but I just thought you might want something fine made of silver or golden, either from the mountains of Madrid or from the coast of Barcelona. No, but if I had the stars from the darkest night and the diamonds from the deepest ocean, I'd forsake them all for your sweet kiss, for that's all I'm wishing to be owning. That I might be gone a long time, and it's only that I'm asking. Is there something I can send you to remember me by, to make your time more easy passing? Oh, how can you ask me again? It only brings me sorrow. The same thing I want from you today, I would want again tomorrow. Yeah, I got a letter on some lonesome day. It was from your ship sailing, saying I don't know when I'll be back again. It depends on how I'm feeling. Oh, if you, my dear, must think of that way, I'm sure your heart is roaming. Yes, I'm sure your heart is not with me, but with the country to where I'm going. So take heed of the western winds, take heed of the stormy weather. And yes, there's something you can send me, my own true love, Spanish boots of Spanish leather. All right, and that was Sunset and Boots of Spanish Leather. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I actually played that song 4 times, because I actually came up with a Spanish translation of that song, and played it on the Animal Ears live stream when I wrote my song Bahia de Cochinos, so yeah, 4 times and 1 time in Spanish, or including 1 time in Spanish, I should say. But the first 2 songs that I had in mind, and just to kind of let you into my writing process a little bit, I've mentioned this before, but in case you're tuning in for the first time, at least recently have liked to keep my albums to 1 month. They don't take me a month to write, but if I start an album in July, I want to finish it in July. and and so that was one of those things. And so I was done with the last album for July, with a day or so to spare, and I was like, man, I had these two ideas, and one of them was Sunset, and the other one was this song that was called King, or that turned out to be King. And I really just couldn't wait to be king. But this was inspired by Black Cow by Steely Dan. And on paper, Bob Dylan and Steely Dan seem very, very different. But in the early days, at least, Steely Dan was very heavily influenced by Dylan, to the point where they named their debut album Can't Buy a Thrill, which was a line in It Takes a Lot to Laugh, It Takes a Train to Cry. So the connection runs deep, and I know I've mentioned this before, but Dylan had an album called Time Out of Mind, and in 1980, Steely Dan had a song called Time Out of Mind that was on Gaucho. So there's a lot of crossover between them, even though you wouldn't think of it. But this one was inspired by Black Cow, by, like I said, by Steely Dan. This is a song called King, which Steely Dan has another song called Kings, and then another one called King of the World. But this is King and Black Cow, and I hope you enjoy both of them, I should say. Had an inkling at the restaurant that the man with you was the one you want. He wasn't good for you, I couldn't tell you that. And I couldn't try to win you back. But I ain't in the game of chasing. I quit that long ago. I had my chance, and you had yours. Now there's a love we'll never know. I refuse to be shunned for doing the right thing. I refuse to be shunned by your decision sting. So live your life with your idea of a king. Have a picture somewhere in my mind of you being with someone else instead. I got a life to live, and you got yours. Can't play the waiting game with you anymore. I won't be your second fiddle or even your third. I ain't mad, but I'm gotta move on from what is occurred. I refuse to be shunned for doing the right thing. I refuse to be shunned by your decision sting. So live your life with your idea of a king. I refuse to be shunned by doing the right thing. I refuse to be shunned by your decision sting. So live your life with your I refuse to be shunned, but doing the right thing. I refuse to be shunned by your decision sting. So live your life with your idea of a king. In the corner of my eye, saw you in Rudy's. You were very high. You were high. It was a crying shame. They saw your face in the corner by your keys. Was a book of numbers and your remedies. One of these surely will scream at the sorrow, but where are you tomorrow? I can't cry anymore while you run around. Break away just when it seems so clear that it's over now. Take your big black cow and get out of here. Down to Green Street, there you go. Looking so outrageous, they tell you so. You should know how all the bros play the game. You change your name like a gangster on the run. You will stagger homeward to your precious one. I'm the one who must make everything right. We'll talk it out till daylight. I don't care anymore while you run around. Break away just when it seems so clear that it's over now. Drink your big black cow and get out of here. I can't cry anymore while you run around. Break away just when it seems so clear that it's over now. Drink your big black cow and get out of here. All right, and that was King and Black Cop. The second one being by the one and only, well, technically two and only, not counting the studio musician, Steely Dan. Yeah. So I forgot to mention a line that I really liked in that first song that I played, Sunset, and that was it was that easy to get your heart and just as easy for you to keep it open. This whole, well, actually really the past 2 weeks of, kind of the running themes have been like, yeah, I've done the right thing. My past aside, it felt right. And, letting this person go and, letting her chase her dreams. And then as it turns out, she ended up with this guy, broke him off when she moved out west, and then got back together with him. And it's just like, okay, that's, like I said, what doing the right thing gets me. But this particular one was I feel like there was a line that I was, oh yeah, in that second pre-chorus, I won't be your second fiddle or even your third. And that was that. But the weird thing about writing, this particular album is, and it has even more of an evolution, but those first two songs sounded really bitter. And I really wasn't bitter, but it was just like, um, I've spent so long, not on this person necessarily, but, I've spent so long being, the type of person who will hold on. And so, like, the first time I write a song about, oh, yeah, no, I'm just not doing that anymore, you kind of sound cocky. But it's just one of those things. And like I said, there's an even stranger evolution that's going to come up here. But while I was in the process of writing for this record, I got this song stuck in my head, and my mom had actually sent me just a solo version that the writer, Roland Orzabal, did of this particular song, and this is Mad World. But I couldn't think of it. And then once I heard it, I keep on remembering that somebody covered it like in the early 2000s and, kind of brought it back. So I always forget that it was Tears for Fears originally. And side note, I'm going to confuse myself even more with this, but I always get Tears for Fears and Blood, Sweat, and Tears mixed up. And Blood, Sweat, and Tears actually has Keith Peluso, who's from Munford, Tennessee, which is about 30 minutes-ish, 40 maybe, away from Memphis. But he's the lead singer of Tears for Fears now. Or I'm sorry, for Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I told you I was going to confuse myself. But this is Tears for Fears with Mad World. And my song is While I Looked Away, so I'm going to play that first. I do the right thing and it doesn't get me, where it doesn't get me, where it doesn't get me. Without you the squeak wheel gets greased now. I gotta cease now, I gotta cease now. They think that I'm not healed and that's why my mouth was shut. It ain't like that at all, you needed to follow. Yet he stepped in twice while I looked away. While I looked away. If that's the way that you're gonna run things, I'll tell you one thing, I'll tell you one thing right now. What he's doing is baseline treatment, my love deepens if it were only a lie. They think that I'm not healed and that's why my mouth was shut. It ain't like that at all, you needed to follow. Yet he stepped in twice while I looked away. While I looked away. That I'm not healed and that's why my mouth was shut. It ain't like that at all, you needed to follow me. Yet he stepped in twice while I looked away. While I looked away. They think that and that's why my mouth was shut. It ain't like that at all, you needed to follow me. Yet he stepped in twice while I looked away. While I looked away. While I looked away. While I looked away. All around me are familiar faces, worn-out places, worn-out bases, bright and early morning daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. And their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head while I drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, 'cause I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world, mad world, mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Made to feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school, I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, 'cause I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Mad world. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, 'cause I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Mad world. All right, and that was Mad World, and While I Looked Away. First one being by me, While I Looked Away, and then Mad World I played after that. That being by Tears for Fears and not Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So next, we're gonna do a Beatles-inspired song, and I actually just joined a Facebook group called Beatles Submarine Posting, and it's filled with all of these hilarious Beatles, sarcastic Beatles memes, and I love the Beatles, but man, those things make me laugh. So this next song, actually I take that back, was not inspired by the Beatles, but it was somebody who was who the Beatles inspired, and that was Bob Dylan. And you know, I know you're thinking to yourself, like, man, last week I was missing the Bob Dylan to this week. What did we do to deserve this? And I don't know whether that's a good thing, a good what did we do to deserve this, or a bad what did we do to deserve this. But either way, yes, it's what you deserve. So this is a song called In My Place. And It was inspired by an outtake from Blood on the Tracks called Up to Me. And I hope you enjoy it. I remember the day I let you go, there was a ton going on. Powers in my head getting turned down seemed like an end so wrong. But I also couldn't bring myself to crash the dreams you wanted to chase. So now me knows I did the right thing, another man is in my place. The plan remains the same after that day in Eau Claire, but I can't tell you how I feel as long as he is there. I felt I could have had you down the road cause we parted with such grace, but because I did the right thing, another man is in my place. Tell me you're not ready to commit, yeah, you've committed to him twice. I would sound jealous at this point if I gave you my advice. Pretty soon from your memory I will be erased, because I did the right thing, another man is in my place. Our timing maybe is just off, and I guess that's just fine. I'll continue holding as long as you know your line. It's until I see you walk the aisle wearing linen lace. I'll own doing the right thing, won't put no one in my place. Everything went from bad to worse, money never changed a thing. Death kept following, tracking us down, at least I heard your bluebird sing. Now somebody's gotta show their hand, and time is the enemy. I know you're long gone, I guess it must be up to me. If I thought about it, I never would have done it, I guess I would have let it slide. If I lived my life on what others were thinking, my heart inside would have died. I was just too stubborn to be ever governed by a forced insanity. Someone had to reach for the rising star, I guess it was up to me. Oh, the Union Central is pulling out and the orchids are in bloom. My bowling got me one picture left and it smells of stale perfume. In 14 months I only smiled once and I didn't do it consciously. Somebody's gotta find your trail, I guess it must be up to me. It was like a revelation when you betrayed me with your touch. I was just about to convince myself that nothing had changed that much. The old rounder in the iron mask slid me the master key. Somebody had to unlock your heart, he said it was up to me. Well, I watched you slowly disappear down into the officers' club. I would have followed you in the door, but I didn't have a ticket stub. So I waited all night till the break of day, hoping one of us could get free. The dawn came over the river bridge, I knew it was up to me. The only decent thing I did when I worked as a postal clerk was to fall in your picture on the wall in your cage where I work. Was I a fool not to try to protect your identity? You looked a little burned out, my friend, I thought it might be up to me. Well, I met somebody face to face and I had to remove my hand. She's everything I need in love, but I can't be swayed by that. It frightens me, the awful truth, how sweet life can be. But she ain't gonna make me move, I guess it must be up to me. We heard the Sermon on the Mount and knew it was too complex. It didn't amount to anything more than what the broken glass reflects. When you bite on more than you can chew, you pay the penalty. Somebody's gotta tell the tale, I guess it must be up to me. Well, Dupree came pimping in tonight at the Thunderbird Cafe. Crystal wanted to talk to him, I had to look the other way. Well, I just can't live without you, honey, I need your company. But you ain't gonna cross the line, I guess it must be up to me. There's a no left in the bottle, you can give it to Estelle. She's the one you've been wondering about, but there ain't really much to tell. We mold the voices for a while, now the rest is history. Somebody gotta cry some tears, I guess it must be up to me. So go on, boys, and play your hands. Life is a pantomime. The ringleaders from the county seat say you don't have all that much time. And the girl in me behind the shade, she ain't my property. One of us has got to hit the road. I guess it must be up to me. And if we ever meet again, and if we never meet again, baby, remember me. How my lone guitar playing sweet for you, that old time melody. And the harmonica around my neck, I blew it for you free. No one else could play that tune, you knew it was up to me. All right, and that was In My Place and Up to Me. Like I said, Up to Me was an outtake from Blood on the Tracks, and didn't sound that good when Bob Dylan did it, and so he was just like, if I can't sound like Minnesota Mike, what am I gonna do? It was really devastating for him, and it was kind of the last we heard from that guy. Anyway, like I said earlier, this next song was inspired by Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. And I said earlier that the Beatles were inspired by John Lennon, and that came up in an earlier live stream. Hide Your Love Away was actually a song written by John Lennon, and his quote was, "This is when I was going through my Dylan phase." And I haven't gotten over that Dylan phase yet. I'm pretty sure I probably used that same line. But that was just one of those things that was really cool. And obviously Lennon and McCartney were phenomenal songwriters, but to be the best in the world, feels like, you maybe wouldn't be influenced by anybody else if you were the best. But there's always more to learn. So that's one of those things. But speaking of things the Beatles could have done better, when they were recording Norwegian Wood, they couldn't get the guitar just right. And so they ended up using the sitar instead, and got this really distinct sound. And years later, the Minnesota Beatle Project, Jeremy Messersmith covered Norwegian Wood, and did it on acoustic guitar just fine. So I don't know what their problem was, but a Minnesota boy figured it out. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a mix, tempo-wise, of the Jeremy Messersmith version of Norwegian Wood, and my song is called Head on a Swivel, so I'm going to start with that. I had to let go. I had some things I couldn't show. I did the right thing. Now is the one to talk about rings. West Coast was your dream. Turned out it wasn't quite like it seemed. Need someone to have when nothing but sad. He helped you move out. You've broken an arm that removed the doubt. I didn't regret saying nothing to you at the time. I let you go so you could shine lying down for the thrill, waiting for you to have your fill. Holding no one delay, both for me and him, says all in good say. I didn't regret not saying anything to you at the time. I let you go so you could shine. Ran through it in my head. It might be best to move on instead. I'll love you till I'm gone, head on a swivel, but now moving on, head on a swivel, but now moving on. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me a road, isn't it good? Norwegian Wood. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anyway. I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking a while. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. She told me she worked in the morning and started a new life. I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in a bed. And when I awoke, I was alone. This bird had flown. So I lit a fire. Isn't it good? Norwegian Wood. Alright, and that was Head on a Swivel and Norwegian Wood. I hope you enjoyed both of those. And like I said, Jeremy Messersmith does an awesome cover of that kind of influenced how I play it. And the other thing that influenced that again is that I don't have a sitar. It's pretty simple. But this next song was inspired by Sweet Baby James, and it's a song called Too Long, and I hope you enjoy it. The man to your left made me second guess the chances I had with you. When I'm paranoid, it makes people annoyed, but it turned out my suspicion was true. I told myself it wouldn't last long, and I could wait for the right moment. 'Cause I'm in the right gully, letting us divide, but we were not meant to be a quotient. I've known myself that for too long, but after a year plus he still isn't gone. So in the back of my mind I hope you change yours, but I can't afford to wait too long. The place to my west, much to your behest, isn't suited for you like you thought. He helped you move there and begged for a pair of what you had intentionally lost. That could have been me, but our timing was rotten, and you're not sure what you desire. So I made the right call in letting you fall. I just wish you also felt that fire. I know myself that for too long, but after a year plus he still isn't gone. So in the back of my mind I'll hope you change yours, but I can't afford to wait too long. Yeah, I know myself it won't be too long, but after you plus he still isn't gone. So in the back of my mind I'll hope you change yours, but I can't afford to wait too long. There's a young cowboy, he lives on the ranges, horse and his cattle are his only companions. He works in the saddle in the deep in the canyons, waiting for the summer, his pastures to change. And as the moon rises, he sits by the fire, thinking about women and glasses of mirror, and closing his eyes as the doggies retire, he sings out a song which is some, but it's clear as it may be somebody good. Good night, you moonlight ladies, rocking my sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams and rocking my sweet baby James. Now the 1st of December was covered in snow, and we took back from Stockbridge to Boston. Through the moonshine seemed dreamlike on account of that frosting, with 10 miles behind and 10,000 more to go. And there's a song they sing when they take to the highway, a song that they sing when they take to the sea, a song that they sing of their home in the sky. Maybe you can believe it if it helps you to sleep, but singing just works fine for me. So good night, you moonlight ladies, rocking my sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams and rock my sweet baby James? I'll write you a song you can fall asleep to. Maybe when you're alone you won't feel so blue. What can I do? What can I do? There's no falling out of love with you. All right, and that was Too Long, Sweet Baby James, and a little interpolation of Falling Out of Love with You by Bailey Bigger, who just killed it at Rail Garden the other night. She and Mark Edgar Stewart and Will Sexton, I believe, John Paul Keith, Max Gomez, and Lily Winwood, Steve's daughter, played this show. It was just incredible, and I might be leaving somebody off the bill. But it was amazing. I also figured if you can't see James Taylor in Memphis this Saturday, because you can't spare I think it's like down to $87 or something. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be cheaper between now and then, and I can snag some last minute tickets. But just in case I can't, you can. At least you have my cover of Sweet Baby James. That's the next best thing, for better or worse. But this next song was inspired by actually let me just say this. I was writing this song and I was trying to make it sound like Bust a Move, and I'm like, that doesn't fit this, so I rewrote it and made it sound like, or tried to make it sound like Lawrence, Kansas by Josh Ritter. And so I'm going to play both of those songs. This is The Right Thing and Lawrence, Kansas. The hardest part about leaving you is I love you, but I gotta walk away. I needed to find the one I deserve, and that's you. I am sad to say, if you were to let him go for good, then maybe chance. But I can't keep holding out and wondering exactly where I stand. I can't keep doing the right thing and not trying to conflict you about chasing all your dreams. When he's the squeaky wheel in your life who keeps getting all the grace. Yeah, I thought about what I could have said in October and how April would have looked different. But now I know I did the right thing in not chasing you, 'cause here's what you think you're missing. I still love seeing you, don't get me wrong. Don't take this as me being mad. But for now we're put on pause and we can't return to what we once had. Maybe one day I'll find someone who will appreciate me doing the right thing. But until that's you, it's not you who deserves to wear my ring. Dirt roads and dry land farming might be the death of me, but I can't leave this world behind. And my debts are not like prison where there's hope of getting free. Lord, I can't leave this world behind. And I've been from here to Lawrence, Kansas, trying to leave my state of mind, trying to leave this awful sadness, but I can't leave this world behind. South of Delia, there's a patch out back by the willow trees. Lord, I can't leave this world behind. It's a fenced-in piece of nothing. I hear voices on my knees, and I can't leave this world behind. Some prophecies are self-fulfilling. I've had to work for all of mine, but better times will come to me, God willing, 'cause I can't leave this world behind. This world must be frightening. Everybody's on the run, and I can't leave this world behind. And my house is a wooden one, and it's built on a wooden one. It seems I can't leave this world behind. Preacher says that when the master calls us, he's gonna give us wings to fly. But my wings are made of hay and corn husks, so I can't leave this world behind. All right, and that was The Right Thing and Lawrence, Kansas. So even though I had last week, I feel so wrong in doing the right thing. The title track, or what maybe should have been the title track to that album, ended up showing up on this one. But it's just one of those things. Great song by Josh Ritter from the golden age of radio. And I know I heard it on that when I culled through his albums, but it didn't really stick out to me until I heard his live version of it on See Here I've Built You a Mansion, which was his like kind of live EP that he put out last year, I guess. And just a phenomenally talented guy and somebody who did a lot of live streaming, which was great. And as a result of that, influenced my writing during the pandemic a lot more than maybe he would have if he wasn't doing those live streams. So that's awesome. As for me, he probably either doesn't care or, his lawyers are going to come after me. But this next one was inspired by Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels by Jim Croce, who's another one that I think, well, I know for sure You Don't Mess Around with Jim inspired a song of mine, this one, and there might have been another one too. But regardless, he is phenomenal. So this is She Don't Know What She Wants and Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels. She don't know what she wants in her life. She don't know how I feel, and that's alright. She don't know what she wants out of love. But as long as she's with him, I can't go back to how it was. She don't know what she wants in her life. I wanna love her, but I'm gonna have to get in line. She don't know what she wants, yet she continues to choose his so-called love, and I continue to lose. So if that's how she's gonna play it out, I will leave her be. 'Cause even if she has doubts, I'd only be trying to convince her that she don't like it, and would somehow turn out fine with me. She don't know what she wants in her life. Maybe it's not worth all the pain and strife. She don't know what she wants, and that's okay. But I just don't have anything more to say. Operator, when did you help me place this call? See, the number on the matchbook is old and faded. She's living in LA with my best old friend Ray, a guy she said she knew well and sometimes hated. But isn't that the way they say it goes? Well, let's forget all that and give me the number if you can find it, so I can tell him I'm fine, and just to show that I've overcome the blow, I've learned to take it well. I only wish my words could convince myself that it just wasn't real. but that's not the way it feels. Operator, why don't you help me place this call? 'Cause I'm getting the number that you just gave me. There's something in my eyes, you know it happens every time. I think about the love that I thought would save me, but isn't that the way the saying goes? Well, forget about that and give me the number if you can find it, so I can go just to tell him I'm fine and to show I've overcome the blow. I've learned to take it well. I only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real, but that's not the way it feels. No, 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 that's not the way it feels. Operator, well, let's forget about this call. There's no one there I really wanted to talk to. Thank you for your time, oh, you've been so much more than kind. You can keep the dime, but isn't that the way the saying goes? Well, let's forget all that and give you the number if you can find it, so I can tell him I'm fine and to show I've overcome the blow. I've learned to take it well. I only wish I could just convince myself that it wasn't real, but that's not the way it feels. All right, and that was Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels. And before that, She Don't Know What She Wants, which was my song inspired by that Jim Croce song. So I've just got a couple more on this album here, and then I'll tell you what's next. But this next song was inspired by Red Light by David Nail, and this is a song called Better Off Alone. Thought I was done with you, putting the ball in your court. I wanted to see if there was mutual support. You called me up one day, things felt right again. It reminded me that this may not really be the end. I made a clean break for my mental fortitude until you called, didn't know just how much I missed you. It's a good thing I just pressed pause, but her name was instead of a no. I put you on hold, didn't hang the phone, realized I'm better off alone than living without your love. Better off alone. That's not to say I haven't been trying. Won't get hung up on what might be, but every time we talk I feel so wonderful. So I guess it's still a wait and see. I made a clean break for my mental fortitude until you called. Didn't know just how much I missed you. It's a good thing I just pressed pause, putting in laws instead of a no. I put you on hold, didn't hang them all, realized I'm better off alone than living without your love. I'm better off alone. There's a million things to love about you and I can't forget. There's something about him that don't make your mind move, they said. There's a million ways this could go, but I know the one I desire. 'Cause no one else but you can take me higher. It's a good thing I just press pause, but an him was instead of a no. I put you on hold, didn't name them all, realized I'm better off alone than living without your love. I'm better off alone. It's a good thing I just press pause, putting in loves instead of a no. I put you on hold, didn't hang the phone, realized I'm better off alone than living without your love. I'm better off alone. So this is how it ends. This is where it all goes down. This is what I don't love you feels like. It ain't the middle of the night, it ain't even raining outside. It ain't exactly what I had in mind for goodbye. At a red light in the sunshine on a Sunday, nothing to say, don't even try. Some are coming home, some are leaving town, while my world's crashing down on a Sunday in the sunshine. At a red light, I thought she was gonna say something about that couple kissing, crossing the street, or something about this beautiful day. But she just looked me in the eye, said it's over, didn't try to lie or pick a fight. I might have seen it coming that way, but at a red light in the sunshine on a Sunday, nothing to say, don't even try. Some are coming home, some are leaving town, while my world's crashing down on a Sunday in the sunshine. In a red light, in a red light. And there's a mama coming down, a little baby in the backseat in front of me. There's an old man dressed in his Sunday best, just waiting on me. But I can't see getting past. There's a red light in the sunshine on a Sunday, nothing to say, don't even try. Some are coming home, some are leaving now, while my world's crashing down on a Sunday in the sunshine. In a red light, at a red light in the sunshine on a Sunday, nothing to say, don't even try. Some I'm leaving now while my world's crashing down on a Sunday in the sunshine in a red light, in a red light, in a red light. All right, and that was Better Off Alone and Red Light. So that I forgot to mention that when I was introducing my song. But the last two songs on the record actually were written so I, kind of gave myself a forced hiatus from talking to this person, and it wasn't anything, terrible. But the thing that the thing about it was that, like, she, got in touch and was just like, hey, how have you been? And it was like just a really cordial conversation. And it certainly didn't, suck me all the way back in. But it was one of those things where, just completely saying like, okay, I'm going to wait till she prioritizes me. It was smart, but it was also like, person means a lot, and so that's what kind of influenced the last two songs. But this last song that was off the record, again, The Diamonds of the Deepest Ocean, which I forgot to point out explicitly, but it took its name from the line in Boots of Spanish Leather, which I opened the show with. So this is a song inspired by Come On Get Higher by Matt Nathanson, and this is a song called Couldn't Do That to Us, and I hope you enjoy it. You called me out of the blue, asked me how I had been. I told you I got so busy, but the truth is I wanted distance from you, and then have given up on you, dear, that will never pass. I needed you proving we were meant to last. I'll always support you, love when you shine. Just needed to know you were in my times, and not sure where I stand. Still wanna be your man. I'll always support you, just needed a break. It was so glad I didn't have to take a line of silence, 'cause I couldn't do that to us. When we met up in Oakland, I was put back in the fray. You told me you were with him, even after you broke up, so you could move away. Have given up on you, dear, that will never pass. I needed you proving we were meant to last. I'll always support you, love when you shine. Just needed to know if you were in my times, and not sure where I stand. Still wanna be your man. I'll always support you, just needed a break. It was all glad I didn't have to take a line of silence, 'cause I couldn't do that to us. I wouldn't find you much time to give up that easily, even though I did the right thing, setting you free. Come back to me, come back to me, come back to me. I'll always support you, love when you shine. Just needed to know you were in my times, and not sure where I stand. Still wanna be your man. I'll always support you, just needed a break. It was all glad I didn't have to take a line of silence, 'cause I couldn't do that to us. I miss the sound of your voice, and I miss the rush of your skin, and I miss the still of the silence as you breathe out. I'm breathing. If I could walk on water, if I could tell you what's next, make you believe, make you forget. So come on, get higher, loosen my lips, faith and desire, and the swing of your hips just to pull me down and drown me in love. So come on, get higher, loosen my lips, faith and desire, and the swing of your hips just to pull me down and drown me in love. I miss the sound of your voice, the loudest thing in my head, and I hate to remember all them violent, sweet, loving words that you said. If I could walk on water, if I could tell you what's next, make you believe, make you forget. So come on, get higher, loosen my lips, faith and desire, and the swing of your hips just to pull me down and drown me in love. So come on, get higher, loosen my lips, faith and desire, and the swing of your hips just to pull me down and drown me in love. I miss the pull of your heart, I can taste the sparks on your tongue. I feel angels and devils and God when you hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Ooh. Sing sha-la-la-la-la, sing sha-la-la-la-la. So come on, get higher, loosen my lips, faith and desire, and the swing of your hips just to pull me down and drown me in love. So come on, get higher, loosen my lips, faith and desire, and the swing of your hips just to pull me down and drown me in love. So wrong, so wrong, so wrong. So come on, get higher, come on, get higher, 'cause everything works, love, everything works in your arms. All right, and that was Come On, Get Higher, and Couldn't Do That to Us, which was my original song that I played just before that. So it being my last show, I'm gonna really pull out all the stops here. So that was the last song on that record, but I am not done yet. As you may or may not know, when I went home over the summer, I had this album in my mind, the second half of the awhile album, and I had in mind all these things on piano, and I started playing the piano again, and my parents were nice enough to give me this keyboard, which was awesome. So I, was kind of fiddling around on it, or keying around, I guess, and started doing that. So a lot of the songs that I'm going to play for you next were actually I learned on piano over the summer. And some of them I've played in past live streams, but not necessarily on the piano. A couple of them I have. But before I dive into that, tomorrow marks the 39th anniversary, or actually 38th anniversary of An Innocent Man being released, the Billy Joel album. And so I'm going to sing a cappella one of my favorite songs off of that album, because when I have a piano in front of me and I'm going to sing Billy Joel, naturally, I'm going to be doing an a cappella song. But this is The Longest Time, and I hope you enjoy it. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest, if you said goodbye to me tonight, there would still be music left to write. What else can I do? I'm so inspired by you. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Once I thought my innocence was gone. Now I know that happiness goes on. That's where you found me, when you put your arms around me. I haven't been there for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. That voice you're hearing in the hall, and the greatest miracle of all is how I need you, and how you needed me too. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Maybe this won't last very long, but you feel so right, and I could be wrong. Maybe I've been hoping too hard, but I've gone this far, and it's more than I'd hoped for. Who knows how much further we'll go on? Maybe I'll be sorry when you're gone. I'll take my chances. I forgot how nice romance is. I haven't been there for the longest time. I had singing thoughts at the start. I said to myself, hold on to your heart. Now I know the woman that you are. You're wonderful so far, and it's more than I hoped for. I don't care what consequence it brings. I have been a fool for lesser things. I want you so bad. I think you ought to know that I intend to keep you for the longest time. Whoa, 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 for the longest time. All right, and that is For the Longest Time. I keep on meaning to get a recording of that with like all the harmonies together, because it just sounds so much better. And I always tell myself that, and then August 8th sneaks up on me, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to do that again. But now we're going to move over to the piano, and this is a song that was written by Bob Dylan and cut by Adele on her first album, 19. And this is a song called Make You Feel My Love. shadows and the stars appear, and there's no one there to dry your tears. I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I know it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind, this is where you belong. I go hungry, I go black and blue, I go crawling down the avenue. There is nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regret. Put your hand in mine and come with me. I'll see to it that you don't get wet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. Nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love. To make you feel my love. All right, and that was Make You Feel My Love, originally by Bob Dylan on his Time Out of Mind album in 1997. And I referenced Time Out of Mind earlier. So that was that. So this next one I'm going to play is called Your Song. And I actually convinced one of my musician friends, believe it or not, that Elton John wrote a song for me. And she's like, wait, that's so cool. Tell me more. And so I said, well, it's a little bit funny. She's like, to this day, I don't understand why she fell for that. But anyway, this is Your Song, and I hope you enjoy it. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. Then you can tell everybody this is your song. It may mean quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is. Now you're in the world. I sat on the roof and I kicked off the bars. Well, a few other verses, well, they got me quite cross, but the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you. Keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things that I do, you see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It might mean why it's simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is. Now you're in the world, and you can tell everybody this is your song. It might mean why it's simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is. Now you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. All right, and that was Your Song by Elton John. Lyrics by Bernie Taupin. All right, speaking of co-writes, this song was big for Adele, but it was co-written with Dan Wilson, who you probably know for Semisonic, but he just became this monster co-writer to his detriment. He couldn't write a Semisonic song for years as a result of that. But if you think about Adele, you think about Rolling in the Deep, Set Fire to the Rain, these like really angry songs. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not in a position to be judging those. But she needed a way to kind of let go on this record, and had this idea for Someone Like You, and brought in Dan to finish it. And so I always like to say that 21 wouldn't have finished without one of my favorite Minnesota songwriters. And I know I've told this story before, when he walked into the studio, or she did, or whatever. She looked at him and said, "Oh, my mom's a big fan of yours," because that's what he said to Carole King. Anyway, this is Someone Like You, and I hope you enjoy it. I heard that you settled down, that you found someone, and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true, yes, they gave you things I didn't give to you. Old friend, why are you so shy? Ain't like you to run or hide from the light. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it. I thought that when you'd see my face, you'd be reminded that for me, this isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, and sometimes it hurts instead. You know how the time flies. Only yesterday was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in a summer haze, bound by the desire of our glory days. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it. I thought that when you'd see my face, you'd be reminded that for me, this isn't over. was Someone Like You, like I said, by Adele, co-written with Dan Wilson. And he actually does a version of that on his recovered album, which is all of the songs that he wrote, or not all of them, I'm sure, but a lot of the songs that he wrote for other artists and just kind of reimagined. That was that. The one thing that I wanted to point out about that song too is that in the pre-chorus, she says, "I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited." Her middle name is actually Blue, so that's kind of a funny thing. And then the other thing, speaking of pre-choruses, this is one of many Dan Wilson songs that has just like a very distinct pre-chorus to me. And he's really damn good at writing pre-choruses. It's kind of a funny thing. Most of the time I look for bridges and stuff, but the pre-choruses are kind of Dan's thing, although every part of a song, that's also Dan Wilson's thing. But I'm going to play a song that I rarely play. I know I've played it once on here before for the Faith, Hope, and Love video series, or the live stream, I should say. But this is a song called Melt, and it was inspired by Not Over You by Gavin DeGraw, which I'm also going to play. But the reason why I'm playing it tonight is because I remember writing it on August 8th of 2014. My mom and I were up really early at the DMV, and I needed something to pass the time besides talking to her, and so I brought my songwriting notebook and wrote this song. And it's the same person who a lot of my breakup songs are about now, but it was before then. And I still enjoy the song. So this is Melt, Not Over You, and I'm going to do same phone number as well. I'm going to start off with same phone number, Melt, Not Over You, and then I'm going to play Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo. And that's going to close out the medley. So this is that set. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. So don't you dare try to tell me it just disappeared. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. I ran into you just the other day. I think it took you by surprise. Swore you had my number somewhere, but couldn't think of it. No matter how I tried, you've known me for long enough. It should be lodged in your brain. So while you try to tell me that's why you haven't called, this is what I have to say. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. So don't you dare try to tell me it just disappeared. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. You may have lost my digits, maybe screening my calls, cause maybe you just like it when I crawl. I think you just enjoy seeing me in tears. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. Maybe if I change it to you, marry it cool like we talked about in the past, you and I would not be stuck in this awful mess. You said slip your mind each time you try to give me a ring, and you know that I may leave you with it, but for just one thing. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. So don't you dare try to tell me it just disappeared. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. You may have lost my digits, maybe screening my calls, cause maybe you just like it when I cry. I think you just enjoy seeing me in tears. I've had the same phone number for 15 years. For 15 years. You, I know you meant well enough. We gave it a shot, but for me it was only lust. I dreamed that you'd be mine one day, but it was not what I hoped for when it finally came. Cause my one true love I met somewhere down in southern Spain, and without her trying to fill a void, but it only led to pain. Didn't like what the mirror showed when I looked at myself, and I've run around, but now I realize she's the only one who makes me mad. I thought that I had something to prove. You thought that I was yours to lose. We went about everything so wrong, trying to go after what was never there all along. Cause my one true love I met somewhere down in southern Spain, and without her trying to fill the void, but it only led to me. Didn't like what the mirror showed when I looked at myself, and I've run around, but now I realize she's the only one who makes me mad. Yeah, I know she wants my happiness, but she's the only one who makes me feel this way. I see a picture of us together, and I picture us together on the wedding day. Cause my one true love I met somewhere down in southern Spain, and without her trying to fill the void, but it only led to pain. Didn't like what the mirror showed when I looked at myself, and I've run around, but now I realize she's the only one who makes me mad. And I've run around, but now I realize she's the only one who makes me mad. Dreams, that's where I have to go to see your beautiful face anymore. I stare at a picture of you and listen to the radio. Oh, there's a conversation we both admit we had it good, but until then it's alienation. I think that much is understood, and I realize if you ask me how I'm doing, I would say I'm doing just fine. I would lie and say that you're not on my mind, but I go out and I sit down at a table set for two, and finally I'm forced to face the truth. No matter what I say, I'm not over you. Damn girl, you do it well, and I thought you were innocent. Took this art and put in the rest of your magnificent. I'm a boomerang, it doesn't matter how you throw me. but I'm not even close without you. If you ask me how I'm doing, I would say I'm doing just fine. I would lie and say that you're not on my mind. But I go out and I sit down at a table set for two, and finally I'm forced to face the truth. No matter what I say, I'm not over you. And if I had the chance to renew, you know there's not a thing I wouldn't do. I could get back on the right track, but only if you be convinced. So until then, if you ask me how I'm doing, I would say I'm doing just fine. I would lie and say that you're not on my mind. But I go out and I sit down at a table set for two, and finally I'm forced to face the truth. No matter what I say, I'm not over you. Not over you. Not over you. Not over you. I got my driver's license last week, like we always talk about, 'cause you were so excited for me to finally drive up to your house. But today I drove through the suburbs crying 'cause you weren't around. And I bet you're with that blonde guy, the one who always made me doubt. He's so much older than I am, he's everything I'm insecure about. Yeah, today I drove through the suburbs, 'cause how could I ever love someone else? And I know we weren't perfect, but I never felt this way for no one. And I just can't imagine how you got me so okay now that I'm gone. Yes, you didn't learn what you read in that song about me. Yes, you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. 'Cause you said forever, now I drive alone as you're straight. And all my friends are tired of hearing just how much I miss you. But I feel kinda sorry for them, they'll never know you the way that I do. Yeah, today I drove through the suburbs and pictured I was driving home to you. And I know we weren't perfect, but I never felt this way for no one. And I just can't imagine how you got me so okay now that I'm gone. Yes, you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. 'Cause you said forever, now I drive alone as you're straight. Red lines, stop signs, I still see your face in the white cars, front yard. Can't drive past the places we used to go, 'cause I still fucking love you. Sidewalks we cross, I still this way for no one. And I just can't imagine how you got me so okay now that I'm gone. Guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. 'Cause you said forever, now I drive alone past your street. Yeah, you said forever, now I drive alone past your street. Oh, right, and that was Same Phone Number, Melt, Not Over You, and Driver's License. Quite the epic medley, and you would think I would stop there, but I am not quite done. I've got 4 more songs for you, 2 more on piano, and then 2 a cappella that I kind of decided to do last minute. But this is a song I played in February for the Tapestry 50th anniversary. But this time I'm playing it on piano. So this is So Far Away by Carole King. So far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fine to see your face at my door. Doesn't have to know that you're just time away. Long ago I reached for you and there you stood, holding you again could only do me good. Oh, how I wish I could, but you're so far away. One more song about moving along the highway. Can't say much of anything that's new. If I could only work this line out my way, I'd rather spend it being close to you. But you're so far away. Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fine to see your face at my door. Doesn't have to know that you're so far away. Yeah, so far away. Traveling around shouldn't gets me down and lonely. Nothing else to do but close my mind. I sure hope the road don't come to own me in it. There's so many dreams I've yet to find, but you're so far away. Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fine to see your face at my door. Doesn't have to know that you're so far away. Yeah, you're so far away. Hey, you're so far away. All right, and that was So Far Away by Carole King, once again off Tapestry. I read something calling it back to James Taylor. I saw something recently that said that after James Taylor wrote Fire and Rain, and he had the line that I've seen days when I could not find a friend. And that inspired her to write You've Got a Friend, which James Taylor ended up cutting eventually. But kind of a cool thing. So I brought up Josh Ritter earlier, and this song, it felt appropriate to play it on the last night of the Not Had to Do Another Joint Tour, because this was the song that I always liked Josh Ritter, but this is the one where I was like able to get beyond Sermon on the Rocks and think, oh my gosh, this is incredible. This is, I think, the best song that he's written. But this is a song called "The Curse," and I have played this one on piano before, but worth doing it again for sure. So this is "The Curse," and it's the last song that I'm going to play on piano before I go a cappella for the last two. He opens his eyes, falls in love in Versailles with a girl in the doorway. What beautiful lines, how full of life, and in thousands of years, what a face to wake up to. He holds back a sigh as she touches his arm. She dusts off the bed where till now he's been sleeping under miles of stone. The dried figure of his heart under scarab and bone starts back to its beating. She carries him home in a beautiful boat. He watches the sea from a portal in Stowage. He can hear all she says as she sits by his bed, and one day his lips answer her in her own language. The days quickly pass, he loves making her laugh, the days quickly pass, he loves making her laugh. The first time he moves, it's her hair that he touches. She asks, are you good? He says, I think that I'm cured. Then he talks of the Nile and girls in bulrushes. She carries him home in a beautiful boat. He watches the sea from... Just saying that first, sorry. In New York he is laid in a glass-covered cage. He pretends he is dead. People crowd round to see him, but each night she comes round, and the two wander down the halls of the tomb that she calls a museum. Often he stops to rest, but then it's less and less. Then it's her who looks tired, staying up asking questions. He learns how to read from the papers that she is writing about him, and he makes corrections. It's his face on a book, more and more come to look. Families from Iowa, Upper West Siders, and one day it's too much. He decides to get up, and his chaos ensues. He walks outside to find her. She's using a cane, and her face looks too pale, and she's happy to see him. As they walk, he supports her. She asks, are you ghost? But his answer's obscured in a sandstorm of flashbulbs and rowdy reporters. Such reanimation, the two to the nation. He gets out of limos, he meets other women. He speaks of her fondly that nights at the museum, but she's just one more rag now he's dragging behind him. She stops going out, she just lies there in bed in hotels in whatever towns they are speaking. Then her head starts to set, and her hands start to fall, and one day the dried figure of her heart stops its beating. and she asks, "Are you nervous?" And he says, "I think that I'm cured." Then he kissed her and knowing that she'd forget that question. All right, and that was The Curse. Like I said, one of my favorite songs. And just haunting, but beautiful. So I'm just gonna do two more, and which is again funny because I've been going for over 2 hours. But this is I'm gonna do the Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond, Loch Lomond. I'll pronounce it correctly when I sing it. And then I'm gonna do Red as the Rose, which they were kind of inspired by each other. But those are two of my favorites, and my parents have both said you should throw that into all of your sets. And I didn't, but I figured I'd throw it into this one. So this is the Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny breeze, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, ye'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore. For me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side o' Ben Lomond, where in the purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, ye'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore. For me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. The wee birdies sing and the wild flowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted kens nae second spring again, though the waeful may cease frae their greeting. Oh, ye'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore. For me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. for me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. All right, and now for the Irish version, Red is the Rose. Come over the hills, my bonny Irish lass. Come over the hills to your darling. You choose the road, love, and I'll write the vow. And I'll be your true love forever. Red is the rose that on yonder garden grows, and fair as the lily of the valley. Clear as the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is purer than any. 'Twas down by Killarney's green woods that we strayed, when the moon and the stars, they were shining. The moon shone its rays on her locks of golden hair, and she swore she'd be my love forever. Red is the rose that on yonder garden grows, and pure fair as the lily of the valley. Clear as the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is purer than any. 'Tis not for the parting that my sister pains, 'tis not for the grief of my mother, 'tis all for the loss of me bonny Irish lass, that my heart is bringing forever. Red is the rose that on yonder garden grows, and fair as the lily of the valley. Clear as the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is purer than any. Yes, my love is purer than any. All right, and that was Red as the Rose, and that's going to do it for me for a while with these live streams, starting up school soon, and so that'll keep me nice and busy. But I so appreciate those of you who tuned in once, twice, weekly, monthly, whatever. This has been a great way for me to get my emotions out, but get the music out too. I guess those are kind of one and the same. That I wouldn't have maybe had the opportunity to otherwise, especially during COVID. So, and it's still going on, but, when it was really shut down and all of that. Um, so yeah, I really appreciate it. Be on the lookout for a playlist from this week and a larger playlist. I'm gonna try to compile all of the songs from the tour, all of the cover songs, and do that. But I'm just really, really grateful for you guys listening, and I hope this has gotten you through some hard times, like it has for me, because that's why I do music, and so I appreciate all of y'all. All of you guys, for my fans back in Minnesota, and thank you so much. Stay safe.